Disney is delaying stuff because they're dying as a company. They have delayed The Mandalorian. They've delayed Toy Story 5. They've delayed the live action Moana.
Whoa.
I don't know why. Moana. They've delayed everything, it seems like, because they can't get their act together. It's just more Disney dying. Do you think
this is what I want to see? I want to see someplace like Max come out with either a documentary or a based in reality narrative series that just displays the chaos, recapping Disney? Chaos of what's happening internally with Disney right now. I would love to see a documentary or something on this.
And what the funny part is, all of these announcements of delaying them, that none of them are new or original things.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, you could argue Mandalorian is.
No, it's
Star
Wars.
Star Wars, but it's
still Mandalorian stuff, which has been established already, and it's still Star Wars stuff, which has really been established already. Nothing is a new property.
Yeah.
No new movies. Who wants to see Toy Story 5? They had an excellent trilogy. Yeah. They had to make another of them movie. Were good.
The last one was not.
They're not. There's nothing original. So obviously, I would be pushing this stuff back too.
No, I mean, you would never be greenlit is the right answer.
It shouldn't be greenlit.
What was the last thing Disney did, and I guess Percy Jackson, that everybody was like kind of talking about? Percy Jackson?
Yeah. Yeah, well,
no one was talking about Percy Jackson.
People are talking about X-Men. People are talking about X-Men 97 right now.
Sure.
Which is a cartoon, but it's not. It's nothing. There's nothing.
It's not going to be a blockbuster hit. What was supposed to be the blockbuster hit that everyone was supposed to know about and talk about?
Probably Wish.
Wish. That was the last thing.
Sure.
It was in theaters.
Wish. There was the Elements movie that came out a while ago.
Wish was supposed to be the big 100-year anniversary thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Do you guys think that why? What's the purpose of pushing these back? I think is the question.
Probably because they're getting too many YouTube videos made about them.
I think here's my theory is they got on this wagon. They got in this wagon about 2 years ago. This is all the stuff that we want to make and all the stuff that we want to do. Yeah. They announced a lot of stuff, and now they're experiencing blowback and money loss. And they're like, we just push it back until we don't have to talk about it or think about it anymore.
I guess
they'll quietly cancel these projects.
Quietly.
What happened to Snow White? What happened to Rachel Ziegler being Snow White?
They've quietly pushed that aside.
Is it done? We don't know. It was supposed to come out, and we've not heard anything about it. There was a lot of controversy around it, and then it just disappeared into thin air.
It's what they're doing. We talked about it last time. It's what they're doing with what Paramount's doing with Star Trek 4. They're pushing it back and occasionally giving out like some news, like, oh, look, here's this new writer on the project. They're just, they've been pushing it back and rewriting because they don't have any new ideas. Test screenings, I'm sure, are really bad. Nobody wants to work on it. And nobody with vision or creativity is making any of this stuff, so they can't make it.
So just to tell people, all of these got pushed back to 2026.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Snow White was originally slated for March 22nd of 2024 and got moved back to March 21st of 2025. So we're not getting Snow White for another year. Maybe
we'll get it.
It should already be out.
They'll put it in the vault and then not bring it out.
What do you think was their reason for canceling? Because it definitely wasn't
all of the
strikes. It was
none of the they'll say the strikes, They'll say that the strikes and COVID is what's causing these things.
They're gonna blame COVID for
they'll
30
blame
years.
COVID and they'll blame the strikes.
They'll say
But
we knew COVID shutting down, theaters for
right.
a year, 2.5 years was going to have 50 years of
But I think
repercussions.
it's just because they don't know what to do. I
Yeah.
think it's because they're
Clearly
You don't think it has anything to do with so they sued the Daily Wire because the Daily Wire is doing a Snow White, but they have no premise behind that because, it's a grim fairy tale. It's not their story, but they're hardcore going to be looking at when the Daily Wire comes out with theirs saying like, are they copying anything that Disney did? Do you think it has anything to do with behind the scenes there's been some legal battle with Snow White?
No, I think. Are you talking specifically about pushing back Snow White?
Why they pushed it back is also because of there's legal stuff behind the scenes that
I think that's a possibility that there's some legal stuff. I also think they have absolutely no confidence in the movie.
No, I don't think
based on the internet's reaction, and the internet is pop culture. Based on pop culture's reaction to Rachel Zegler and set photos and everything, they pushed it back to kind of get it out of the people's eye, so that they can maybe release it later and maybe get people excited for it.
Yeah.
They are so look.
They're backtracking.
I'm gonna be honest with you. The longer you wait to pull the Band-Aids off, the worse it's gonna get. I can promise you, in a year from now, Donald Trump will be president. Maybe. In a year from now, it is not going to be better for woke Hollywood. It is going to keep getting worse. So if you want to pull the Band-Aids off of everything that you invested money into and just say, let's make what we can and get out all the trash now, you got to just put it out. You can't.
I would be more confident if, instead of pushing stuff like this back, if they were like, no, we're canceling it and we're starting over with new stuff.
Right. Maybe that might be the right move also, because we know it's probably garbage.
Square one. They need to have a square one announcement. We're going back to the drawing board.
I mean,
for everything. And maybe that gives, Toy Story 5, The Mandalorian, and Moana a chance for them to go back to the drawing board. But if that's actually their intentions, because here's the thing, Nelson Peltz is the guy that's
vying for the
board seat. He has an uncomfortable, for Bob Iger and everybody there, he has an uncomfortable amount of support. And this thing just keeps getting worse and worse looking, right?
Right.
So I'm not saying anything's going to come of it necessarily, but it's really caused a stir at Disney. And he has more support than they ever anticipated as far as his
what would be the craziest article announcement that would happen? Just imagine Disney buys Mr. Beast's YouTube channel and tries to just like fully just like flip it and go to YouTube and just like owns Mr. Beast's YouTube channel at this point. That would be crazy, but it would probably work for him.
I don't know that I think they would ruin it.
They wouldn't. No, no, yes, they would ruin it. I'm not saying they could do it, but that would be crazy.
Another issue that Disney has, that Bob Iger specifically has, is his succession plan. So he's said publicly he's done in 2026. Interestingly enough, that's when this stuff was delayed to.
That is true.
He's out in 2026. So everyone's talking about who's going to be the next CEO of Disney.
I might do something. Do you think I should go apply for the position?
No. You
send my resume?
Absolutely not. You would be the worst.
Me?
You didn't like Dune Part 2. You would run Hollywood into the ground.
Would I?
I don't know. Well, I don't know if you could do a worse job than they're doing now.
I just got to visit the island a couple times and then shake a few hands and, and then I'll become the new
That's how you get in power.
How do you think he's on the flight list, the flight records?
I don't know.
Bobby,
I think he's pretty high profile. But it's possible.
I think that was the point, right? Everybody's high profile.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
You said he's high profile. I don't know. It's like, that was the freaking point.
Yeah, but I don't know if he's high profile Hollywood. He seems more high profile business.
Maybe.
That was a big chunk of people that he had on the flights.
Yeah, could be.
There's a ton of people I don't know.
I don't know.
That have been released. The names.